Hello, welcome back to First Recapped. Today, I am going to explain the 2019 thriller mystery and family drama by the name of I See You, starring the famous 90s starlet, Helen Hunt. Spoilers ahead, watch out and enjoy. Meet the Harper family, which includes Greg, a brooding detective who takes his wife's pills, Jackie, who had previously cheated on Greg, causing a rift among the family members, and their son, Connor, who is your run-of-the-mill teenager whose emotions are running high. The film opens with a 10-year-old Justin Witter who is riding his bike home through the woods when we see him mysteriously being lifted into the air by an unseen force. The scene then moodily shifts to shots of a lovely family home as the title flashes across the scene. It's then morning, and Jackie is making pancakes for everyone, but her efforts aren't met with any acceptance or gratitude as there is tension between mother and son. She leaves and we see that Greg wakes up from the couch in the living room, where he says he's been falling asleep lately. There is also a friendly conversation between him and Connor which shows us that they have a good bond with one another. As Greg is getting ready for work, Jackie calls him, but after hanging up on her, he throws his phone in a rage and it ends up flying through the window and onto the driveway below. He then also finds a mug containing cigarette butts on the roof outside his son's room. Later at work, Greg is given the lead on the Justin Witter case as a bike has been found in the park by a park ranger, and the boy is now missing. Greg and another detective, Spitzy, are at the crime scene as search parties are assembled. A green pocket knife is found, spreading alarm through the policemen, as the discovery of the knife connects this case to a series of abductions that took place more than a decade ago. The chief of police calls in the two detectives to inform them that the man who was convicted for the abductions of the 6 boys is building a case for a mistrial. Cole Gordon has been in prison for the last 15 years, but now since the abductions are taking place again, he wants to go to court again. The thing about the green Swiss knife is that 4 of the boys who were taken were found buried with the knives. 2 of the boys had escaped their abductor and the chief suggests that they go talk to them. They then went to visit one of the kids but are unable to gain any information. Meanwhile, at the Harper household, mysterious things start to happen in the background of the tense family drama, in a way that initially appears to be one odd mysterious occurrence, but the creep factor slowly ramps up as the movie progresses. We see pictures disappearing from photo frames, a hamster out of his cage, the television turning on by itself. And that night when Greg returns home, he gets locked in a closet. In an uncomfortable conversation, Jackie also tells him that apparently, the repairman who came to repair the window took all their cutlery, and he said that a girl let him in, even though they only have a son. Greg dismisses her and all but calls her crazy. Early the next morning before sunrise, Jackie wakes up to noises in the house. Upon following them, she discovers that it's just the voices from online players on Connor's laptop. While tidying up some old stuffed toys, she spots a disturbing mask in the likeness of a frog underneath her son's bed. But Connor just wants her to leave his room, and probably because of the anger that he has been displaying towards her, she decides to not ask about the mask and leaves. Then, in addition to the weird unexplained happenings around the house, Greg wakes up for work in wet clothes, just as if he had wet the bed. Unable to come to a reasonable explanation, he gets up, throws the clothes in the washing machine and heads off to work. That morning, a guy named Todd texts Jackie that he's outside. Todd is the guy who Jackie had cheated on Greg with, and she tries to get rid of him. He proves difficult to persuade through his proclamations of love for her when a mug falls from the roof onto his head. Todd starts to bleed, so Jackie takes him into the basement so Connor does not see. She starts getting calls from Todd's phone and goes upstairs to find the records player on. Unnerved by the strange series of events, she takes Connor to school in an effort to build trust with him. While in the car, she tries to tread carefully with the, understandably, angsty teenager and tells him that he can talk to her, but her efforts are in vain as Connor begins to get agitated and the conversation quickly escalates into an argument. The argument results in Jackie nearly running over the mother of Justin Witter. She wants to know if there is any news on the case. Jackie assures the distraught mother that the police and her husband are doing everything they can and promises her that Justin will be found. When Jackie returns home, she goes to find Todd but discovers him dead. She freaks out and asks Greg for his help. They decide that Connor came across him and killed him, thinking that it was also Connor who hurt him earlier that morning. Greg tells Jackie that they need to hide the body because if this is discovered, Connor's life will be ruined. In a tense sequence consisting of volunteers searching for Justin while Greg and Jackie bury the body, we follow Connor as he investigates some noises coming from the basement. He discovers the missing cutlery in the washing machine, bundled up in clothes. When he returns to his room, he gets a message from someone, asking him if he knows what frogging is. A quick search on the internet reveals that frogging means breaking into someone's house and living there for a while, uninvited and unseen. Freaked out, Connor's messages back, asking the person who they are as we see a figure in the background. The figure is wearing the creepy frog mask Jackie found earlier under Connor's bed. We then cut to Greg and Jackie returning home after taking care of Todd's remains and finding Connor tied up in the bathtub. Greg notices a green army knife embedded in a bat of soap. As Jackie rushes Connor to the hospital, Greg starts searching the house for an intruder, but he is attacked from behind. The film then decides to reveal the mysterious and seemingly supernatural happenings in the house as we watch two-person, Mindy and Alec, slip unnoticed into the Harper residence. Mindy is an experienced frogger and Alec is experiencing the practice of secretly living in someone's house for the first time. And since it's his first time, Mindy let him pick a house. The movie puts half its card on the table as the unexplained and creepy events are suddenly made real, and rendered creepier by the fact that someone can live in your house without your knowledge and move things around. The missing photos and cutlery, the girl who let in the repairman and the cigarettes on the roof are now explained to be both of them messing around. Mindy wants to stay hidden and keeps a low profile, but Alec is up to his own tricks, wanting to make the family scared. We find out that it was really him who pissed over a sleeping Greg as seen earlier in the movie. Events begin to be repeated with this new perspective as more occurrences are revealed to have been Alec's doing, including the mug falling on Todd's head. As Mindy is hiding in the basement from Todd, she witnesses that it was actually Greg who killed the guy. Later, as Jackie and Greg leave with Todd's body, Mindy finds Alec tying up an unconscious Connor in the bathtub. They end up having an argument and Alec ends up accidentally pushing her down the stairs. He hides her in Greg's car and tries to drive away, but Jackie and Greg return home. As Jackie, later on, rushes Connor to the hospital, Alec hides in the shadows as Greg drives away himself, with Mindy still in the car. Once Mindy wakes up, she discovers the shirt with Witter lettered on the back, along with a Ziploc bag containing lots of green knives, thus revealing Greg to be the kidnapper of Justin Witter, and possibly the other disappearances as well. Mindy gets out and calls the police, but is cut off due to bad reception. In the woods, she comes across a trailer where she finds Justin and another kid who had gone missing a month back. She tries to set them free but is attacked by Greg and taken back to the house. Greg tries to make everything look like a robbery and shoots Mindy. We then see the earlier scene when Greg is looking for an intruder but is attacked. It is revealed that Alec attacks him but misses. A fight ensues between the two which results in the two of them facing off against each other. Alec accuses him of being the murderer but Greg denies this. Then Alec takes off the mask and shoots Greg before Greg can begin to explain himself. This is when, conveniently, the other detective arrives and witnesses the attack, shooting Alec as well. But fortunately, Alec survives, and the detective recognizes him as one of the kids who had escaped the kidnapper and murderer 15 years ago. This explains why he chose the Harper's house for frogging, and why he consistently harasses the family despite Mindy's warnings. He wanted revenge on Greg and made his life miserable before he could kill him. Wow, that was quite the story. Wouldn't you agree? Let us know how close you were to guess the actual plot twist. Subscribe for more awesome videos and see you all in the next one.